Take a look at Light of Motiram, a new ultra-realistic open-world action-adventure that looks awfully similar to a pretty known game, only that this game has multiplayer as well.
5 times I erased you, yet still you won't silence up. How much more resurgence do you need, anyway?
You have to embrace uncertainty. Risk of failure. So many unknowns. And most people aren't willing to take that on. But if you've ever felt that moment when everything lines up, guess it's a risk you're willing to take.
Engaging in firefights may sometimes be the only way out of a tight spot. Other times, being cautious and staying out of sight is the better option to make it out. For raiders hoping to thrive, the Rust Belt is filled with opportunities and secrets, if you know where to look. You'll have to stay vigilant up there on the surface, where an armada of arc machines roam unchecked. Where motives of other raiders remain dangerously unclear. You'll need to be resourceful, work with what you have, and sometimes make plans on the fly. What are you prepared to risk to get what you want? Ultimately, you get to decide what kind of raider you'll become, shaping your own legacy, your raider, and your home. Ark Raiders is a multiplayer extraction adventure set in a distant future here on Earth. Players start in Speranza, one of the few places in the Rust Belt that is relatively safe from Ark machines that occupy the surface. There are thousands of people living down here, and there is always a need for vital materials from the world above. The raiders are the ones who put themselves at risk, both from Ark as well as other rival raiders, for a price. It is from here that players can reach different parts of the Rust Belt through a network of repurposed tunnels. The raider we are following is on a quest, a job to obtain a seed vault from a research facility deeper into the city. The others in the squad are after medical supplies, some rare parts, and their best lead is a pharmacy nearby.
Let's go to that tower.
They've reached the pharmacy now.
Let's get over there.
It looks like they are probably the
That's
first
something
ones here.
here.
But you can never be sure, so it is wise to double-check your corners.
Hey, Raider.
Don't shoot, I'm a friend.
You wanna split the loot?
Next up, take a look at Asket, a new open-world action shooter life simulation game inspired by Stalker. Fill into the atmosphere of survival in the ruins of the mystical post-Soviet world and create a character as you wish. Write a backstory, develop perks, change factions, use almost 100 inventory items that have their own animation and unique mechanics. The world is completely interactive and obeys its own rules. Everything can be broken, cut into pieces. The time of day and weather change, loot is generated, and life simulation is implemented.
is a loaded gun.
Go ahead, make my day.
My job is not about taking somebody's life. It's about taking their souls.
Money for blood. That's peculiar profession.
Sometimes I kill for money. Sometimes I kill for justice.
Your next target, Johnny the Wireman, wanted alive, paying double. Last seen somewhere in Jacob's Town area. Bounty hunter, killer.
He's not going anywhere.
Bounty hunting is a hell of a business.
Who are you?
I am Exekiller.
I want to make you an offer, which I'm sure you won't refuse.
Welcome to the Valley of Mines, an immense penal colony. For the war against the orcs, the only undefeated enemies of the Kingdom of Motiram, the king needed ore to supply his armies. So every man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Khorinis. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out his best magicians to create a magical barrier around the entire valley. But something disturbed the creation of the barrier, trapping everyone inside. The convicts revolted and took control of the colony. They divided into 3 camps. The old camp is satisfied with the current situation. As long as they deliver the ore, the king supplies them with everything they need. The new camp, however, thinks they can use the ore to blow up the barrier. And then there is the sect from the swamp. They believe that a mysterious new deity will free them from their prison. Thus begins your journey in the open world of the Valley of Mines. Creating Gothic Remake, we focus on the 4 pillars that we consider the core of the series: simulation of a living world, exploration, story, and combat. Like the original 2001 title, Gothic Remake is set on creating an immersive and realistic world. Enjoy a complex life simulation on a scale hardly ever seen before in a video game. During the day, the inhabitants of the colony carry out a variety of activities, while nature, rich in all its diversity, lives out its own rhythm. All this gives the impression that this world can exist without the player. Explore the colony on your own and enjoy the unprecedented freedom this open world offers. In true RPG fashion, you decide when and where you go next. Meet numerous interesting characters, understand their inner motivations, and earn their respect by completing a series of elaborate quests. How you solve or handle their problems depends entirely on your choices. No matter when, in what order, or if you do anything at all, the game will always respond appropriately to your decisions. Experience a complex and demanding combat system with satisfying character progression. Overcome your opponents using a variety of melee weapons, eliminate them from a distance, or learn the arcana of magic. Remember that each type of weapon behaves differently, and its effectiveness depends on training. We're aware that when creating a remake of a beloved title, it is hard to live up to the expectations of its long-term fans. However, we feel there is room to develop the experience further by telling new stories from the colony and expanding on those that die-hard fans have known for more than 2 decades.
Hunted by sandworms, scorched by the unforgiving sun, ravaged by sunstroke. Stick to the shade, chase the moving shadows, survive. Welcome to Arrakis, the most dangerous planet in the universe. Meet hundreds of other players in the vast online world. Befriend or betray those you meet. Form a wary alliance, in this case, a spit dart rifle and a still suit, for your help taking down territorial deserters. Working with others will always increase your chance of staying alive. The Deserter Base. Climb to a vantage point and prepare for violence. Your choice of weapons and abilities determines your strategy. Swordmasters lead the charge into battle, literally. Repel ranged attacks with a shield, and then take them out, one by one. Deploy the Hunter-Seeker and kill from the shadows. Take what you can from the Fallen. On Arrakis, nothing of value is wasted. Mine, harvest, and gather with your group to build bases and unlock more advanced equipment, like the Blood Purifier. Refine the blood you collected from your enemies to extract drinkable water. Craft improved equipment using fabricators. replicate your bases in new locations with the blueprint system, and then sell blueprints of your architectural wonders to other players. Lead your group to become a guild. On Arrakis, a nameless prisoner can rise, construct an ornithopter, and take to the air. The world is yours to claim.
This is Dune Man Keith Filari reminding you to vary your route. Return with the full spy slot. My crew found a shortcut we become comfortable.
The in-game radio provides insight into key events happening across Arrakis. Map the desert. Discover landmarks, wrecked ships, and desert testing stations filled with forgotten technology. Arrakis is a vast planet. You can explore unique locations, uncover valuable resources, and search for secrets amongst the shifting dunes. And then, return to civilization triumphant with what you've found. Harko Village throngs with people, spice traders, guild bankers, smugglers, house envoys, and of course, other players. Here, you will pledge allegiance to one of the great houses of Dune, the Harkonnen. But remember, to play politics, you need power. And on Arrakis, spice is power. In the deep desert, beyond the shield wall, hundreds of players scour the landscape, hunting for spice. Every spice blow has the potential to become a heated battle, with multiple guilds vying for the precious melange. Even when it looks like defeat is inevitable, those who understand desert power can awaken Arrakis itself.
Insider Gaming has learned new details on Ubisoft's next mainline Far Cry entry following Insider Gaming's report in January. The next game, which we'll refer to as Far Cry 7 and is internally known as Project Blackbird, is scheduled to be released in fall 2025. The game will be developed by Ubisoft Montreal and will move away from the Dune engine to Snowdrop. Speaking with sources, it's understood that the next entry to the series will be a non-linear story, with the story being centered around rescuing the player's kidnapped family. It was said that the game's plot revolves around a wealthy family that has been kidnapped by a conspiracy group currently called the Sons of Truth. While exact finite details are subject to change due to the game's stage of development, it was said that the premise of the campaign is for the player to rescue their entire family within a specific time frame. The current in-game timer stands at 72 hours or 24 hours in real time, but the timer can be paused when the player enters one of their safe houses, it was said. Far Cry 7's non-linear story means that family members do not need to be rescued in order, and some family members can be killed, which has an impact on the story. While details are still a little murky, it's understood that the goal is to take down the Sons of Truth, and in order to complete the game 100%, you'll need to rescue all of your family members safely. To find your family members, it was said that Far Cry 7 introduces a new interrogation mechanic to the game, which doesn't necessarily mean you'll get the information you need from the enemy. Sometimes the enemy will give up the information, sometimes they'll lie, stay quiet, or even sometimes escape, it was said.